it's Rel Klein watching another Supernatural review, and this is season 4, episode 6, Yellow Fever. If you're new here, what I do is I review and recap every single episode of Supernatural, so let's get into it. I love this episode. I think you can tell like how I start a video, like how I feel about an episode. So I love this episode. This episode was like perfect from start to finish. Like it is perfect episode. Like this episode could be maybe like the best episode in season 4. I don't know, we'll have to see, because I was looking at the episodes coming up and I'm like, a lot of these episodes are so good. I said season 4 episode 6, right? Yellow Fever, right? So props to whoever came up with this idea in the writer's room. Like I feel like they didn't come up with the ghostness first. I feel like they probably, I don't know, we can try it out both ways. I feel like they probably were like wanting to do another funny episode or whatever, and they were like, let's have it where it's like one of them is like scared or stuff. And I feel like it makes more sense for Dean, because Dean has such like a macho, like nothing like makes me upset, like I'm like whatever. So I think it's so funny for him, and they were like, okay, how can we do this? Okay, like there's something that's infecting him that makes him be this way. So it's not like he's like turning into something, it's not like he's becoming a monster, it's just like an infection. And it's also like that risk where it's like he's about to die. So some, like a lot of times in Supernatural episodes, they have it where it's like one of the brothers, like it's at risk, like one of them might die, and like that kind of is good in a good episode. But then when they're able to do humor with it, it's like so good too, because you're like, oh my god, he might die, but we're not like actually that scared. We're like, we know he's gonna turn out in the end, but there is that little fear of like Dean's gonna die that just like pushes it along, I guess. But if we think about it the other way around, maybe they came up with like, they were like, oh, ghostness, like this is a cool idea, like what can we do with it, like, oh, how they affect them. Like maybe it's like, oh, these people get affected and they get like really scared and they get really whatever, and so then they have a heart attack and they die. Oh my god, what if we have it where one of the brothers are being affected? Actually, it might have been that way. It feels like maybe that was the way it went around. I don't know. You know, comment below what your thoughts are with that. But ghost sickness is actually a great idea. And like there's so many episodes that have to do with ghosts, but I feel like they're all like so unique. Like we never heard of ghost sickness before. And I think it's like an interesting idea. And I feel like, I don't know, maybe you could have come up with another thing here, but I think ghost sickness makes sense. I mean, it's also like, it doesn't make sense a lot of it. Like, why is there ghost sickness? And like how it affects those special, like certain people. Like, I understand why I was going after the people that like killed this guy, but you know, the fact that it affected Dean and not Sam or whoever else, like didn't really make sense, and they were trying to make sense of it. But it was like, it's fine, because it's such a good episode, so it doesn't matter. There's so many good lines from this episode, where Dean's like, I don't want to be a clue, and he's like, it's too high, and like he's just so scared of everything. It's like so great. Yeah, and then they bring like he starts seeing things at the end, so they bring back Lilith, and it's that same child actor, and she's so good, and she's like boom, boom, boom. But yeah, I feel like if they could have done it where it was Sam, but I just feel like it wouldn't have made sense. It just works better with Dean, and I feel like that's kind of what you have with like a lot of shows, especially when it's like 2 leads or stuff. You know, they have different qualities. They're similar in some ways, but they have different qualities. And so when you're approached with these things, sometimes it matters more sense for one thing than the other. And so you see that, and just sometimes you see like it's Sam. Like I feel like we don't actually see it that much. I feel like when these have these specific episodes, we actually see more Dean. But I know in the future there's times where it's like it's Sam that goes through the thing, whatever. And so right now this is Dean, and I just feel like it makes more sense that it's Dean. Sam also like has the powers or something, and like he's saying something about like him turning into a demon. And like, I don't know, like with him like having these demonic whatever powers, like was that a fear that he was going to turn into a demon? Because I actually remember like when Dean was going to go to hell, like there was like this, you know, it was like you're going to become a demon one day, and I guess that's kind of gone now. And so it's something where like now are they, maybe the writers trying it with like Sam, maybe Sam could potentially go into hell. Like is that like a new thing? Bobby also comes, and he has some really good lines, and I feel like it's something that like they do really well with Bobby that I don't think they did do really well, or did, I guess, I don't know, whatever, because we haven't gotten there yet with Cass. But actually it's like how they bring in Bobby, it's like he's needed at times, and sometimes even if he's in the episode, he comes at the end because he's needed, because Dean can't do anything, you know? And so I feel like with Cass, they didn't do that well. They would, you know, it's like something where it's like, this episode's so good. It's a Sam and Dean episode, but Bobley was there and he was there when he was needed and he did a good job. Sometimes like when Cass would come into these Sam and Dean episodes, it doesn't feel like a Sam and Dean episode anymore. And it kind of takes over and it doesn't feel or have the same effect as just like a good Sam and Dean episode. And so I feel like that's where that comes in. And obviously when we get to more Cass, I mean, we have seen Cass. It is season 4. He hasn't been in a lot of episodes thus far. But, you know, more so throughout Supernatural, we'll see that more, where Cass is in an episode, and it just doesn't feel like a Sam and Dean episode. It doesn't have that same wah-wah. Oh my god, I have to talk about the scene where Dean screams because of the cat. Oh my god, it's so classic, so classic. That was scary. And then, of course, I have to talk about the scene in the end where he's like, I have the tiger, he's like dancing or whatever he's doing. Such iconic thing. It's so iconic. You know, he was probably just like, they just filmed it and then they were like, let's just put it at the end. But like, it was something where it's like, yeah, this is not Dean, this is Jensen. Like, come on. Anyway, as you can tell, like a really, really good episode. Like definitely, I feel like definitely top 5, which is like also like I'm a little scared saying that just because there's so many good episodes in season 4, but I feel like it has to at least be top 5. But I do like, I don't know, maybe top 1, top 2, I don't know. But thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and bye.